What's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches, back with another video. I'm back in town. I have been back as of yesterday at about 8 a.m. I needed my rest. Today, we're gonna do something fun. I'm gonna do another crazy ass client story time while you guys watch me do a really fun, easy holiday set, okay? So before we get into it, you guys already know, be sure to subscribe, turn your notifications on, follow me on Instagram, turn those notifications on. You guys, I have noticed that Instagram has super been pushing shorts. I've noticed that even bigger creators who do nail videos, their videos aren't actually doing so well, as in like views that they normally would have get, but I noticed a lot of people's shorts are doing well. So if you see one of my shorts pop up, right, remember there's most likely a full-length video that goes along with it, okay? So just be sure to pay attention to that. Let's turn our notifications on. It's holiday season, so I got a lot of things that's coming, and let's go ahead and kick this story time off. So this is actually the second time I'm doing this voiceover because I kind of want to space out the details a little bit more, realizing the story I was telling was longer than this video clip, but I ended up falling asleep throughout the day because I was so tired. So this story time, actually I have posted myself doing this person's toes on my page, so if you can find the toes, hey, that's the client, okay? So I was actually doing a reconstruction for a set of sisters, well, one sister in particular. She came to me first because she said that a nail salon was basically doing a fill on her for 8 months. Her toenails, well, she showed me a picture of her sister's toenails, extremely long. I'm talking about like literally probably like half the length of an index finger, or probably like half the length of a pinky finger, right? I'm like, well, this is out of control. Unfortunately, the client I was working on, she needed reconstruction because they work for a company to where you have to wear steel-toed boots. Of course, long toenails, steel-toed boots, tripping down the stairs, that's a no-no, okay? So the technique they used, of course, was a nail tip that grew out, and after 8 months, baby, the nail tip is gone. I had worked on them for a couple months, so this particular appointment, one of the sisters, she booked for a fill, right? Which is fine, except for when she came in, I realized, hey, your toenails don't actually meet the requirements of a fill. You know, I was like, next time if you get confused, basically, or if you're unsure, you can always basically read what you're booking, because on my site it says a fill for toenails is great between 4 to 6 weeks. However, if you're missing more than 4 toenails, then you'll need to book a full set due to time's sake. So in this case, she was missing probably like 5 toenails, and one of them is a big toenail. And so for the time for a fill, I just wasn't gonna have time to be able to put that back together. So I told her, okay, I know you have a clear background and usually like French tip, but honestly, I can hurry up and get this fill together, but listen, you're gonna be leaving here with basically clear toes. She was like, okay, that's fine. I said, you can come back and basically book a touch up, and we can slap some designs and stuff on there then if that's okay with you. She said, okay, fine. So in situations where clients book one thing, but I end up doing the other, when I take their before, I always explain on my Instagram story, like, hey, this client was booked for a fill, but unfortunately, due to X, Y, and Z, this would be booked for a full set. So if you are in the same position where you're unsure, this is how you resolve that problem. And I also did say, in the case that you do book incorrectly, I always will work with you at the appointment to provide a solution. So hopefully you can leave with something. Boom. Go ahead, I'm doing the toes, whatever. Everything's cool. She's like, can I book to get polished? I said, absolutely. Okay, she left. So after she had left, I'm going about my day. My next client is coming, right? I start getting some comments on Instagram, right? And they're like the little purple demon emoji. I'm like, okay, they're probably commenting on something where I'm saying, you know, the feet is suckable, put the feet in the back of the mouth, put feet in the throat, slobber, slop top, all that stuff, okay? Because that's not uncommon for people to leave little stuff like that. So I'm on my next client, we're talking, we're kikiing. My phone start ringing like crazy. Okay, I keep getting phone calls, but it is a random number. And while I'm working, I don't answer random numbers or random area codes because I'm not stopping my hands from being busy just to answer possibly a scam call, because that's usually what it is if I'm not expecting a phone call. So I was like, okay, well, I'm almost done with my client. I'll check afterwards, see if there's a voicemail, boom. Now the phone probably rang about 5 times. After my client, it rang again, but I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go ahead and check the comments, and purple demon emoji, okay, it was on any picture. It wasn't necessarily on something about sucking toast. I'm like, okay, whatever. I happen to check my DMs because I'm like, I just want to make sure. I don't see no voicemail, so let me make sure that it's not the next client reaching out to me for anything. That's when I seen something requested, right? I tap in the requested, and it's somebody, it's hella messages, y'all, not just one. Like, I have to scroll like twice. I see like 5 missed Instagram calls. So I check my regular call log. I'm like, those 5 or 6 Instagram calls coincide like time-wise in between the 7 phone calls I was getting. So I'm like, okay, obviously this person has been trying to reach me. I have no idea who they are. Then as I scroll, I'm seeing, you need to take my daughter off your page, and you are so disrespectful, and I got something for you, you little beep, and beep, 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 all this cussing, all this fussing. I'm thinking, when I hear daughter, I'm like, I didn't have any underage clients today, so who mama is like tripping on me? Like, I don't understand. I don't post pictures, like faces or anything if the client isn't cool with it. Like, anytime you guys see my clients' faces on my page for like a fun activity, they know they're being recorded, you know, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking through my story. I'm like, did I say anything inappropriate? Do anything inappropriate? Then I keep scrolling down. Now the messages are, all right, you little bitch. Now I'm finna give it to you. You got something coming your way. Blah, blah, blah. Don't ever disrespect my daughter. Blah, blah. Keep on scrolling down. Why is it a video with her pointing a handheld device, if you get what I'm saying, a real handheld, like a boom boom with a laser sight on it with music in the background? She pointing the laser to the camera like, yeah, you got something to you. I'm finna come up there. I'm finna blah, 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 blah. I'm like, girl, really? So I'm trying to think. I'm like telling my friend, telling my dude, like, what y'all think this is? Of course, they're like, hey, this ain't good. You need to report this. Now me, listen, y'all know I have been threatened several times. People being late to their appointments, people being turned away. I've been threatened so many times, threatened to get beat up, threatened blah, blah, blah. Don't nobody ever do nothing, so I'm not worried. But I reached out to my client I had that day, because mind you, my client that was not underage, she's like 19. Her and her sister are 19. They're actually twins. So I'm like, okay. I reached out to both of them. I said, hey, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there is somebody that I believe claiming to be your mother that is threatening me. I'm not exactly sure why, but just so you know, if this continues, then it would be best that you guys don't return to my chair. That's all I said. Boom. So not the client I had that day, but her twin sister, who was scheduled the next day, her appointment was unconfirmed. And I'm like, I feel like something's going on. So she emails me back. She's like, I don't know nothing about nobody threatening you or claiming to be my mama, because they said they live with their granny, right? And she's like, you are so unprofessional. You talked so badly about my sister. You made her seem like she was slow and blah, blah, blah. Just saying I'm talking mess and saying that, you know, I'm unprofessional. I don't know how to handle clients. She's like, you should have had a conversation with my sister first. If she booked incorrectly, you tell her that. You don't say nothing on Instagram and blah, blah, blah. So I messaged her back. I said, hey, I understand why you could be upset, but you and your sister, your sister and I actually did have a conversation about me not being able to do more than the clear background due to how she booked. I said anyone who, basically anyone who's before is not going to be an extreme transformation from their after for whatever reason, like due to time's sake. I do say that on Instagram because there are other people who have done the same thing, and a lot of people have told me it's helpful to be able to see in reference on how to book for the future if they stumble upon that type of situation. I said, I'm sorry that you feel that I've disrespected your sister, but her and I have had a conversation and everything was fine. I don't think that warrants any of the threats or whatever, but yeah, just so you know, I want to get this resolved, because if the threats continue, it will be best that you guys don't come back. So she was like, oh, you don't got to worry about that. We're not coming back. You were so unprofessional. We about to find somebody else and blah, 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 this, that, and other. So my boyfriend and my friend, they was so concerned, especially my friend. So I was like, okay, I'll go report it. I'll make a police report, whatever, because there was like a handheld situation. She was threatening to basically, can you say on Instagram? She was threatening to me. So I reported it. I went to report to the place near my house. It was like, oh, baby, that's not what we do. You got to go across town and report to them. I'm like, okay. Went across town and report to them. They was like, oh, sorry. We actually stopped taking reports 1 minute previously. So honestly, after that, they was like, oh, go online. Then I lost the paper. I'm like, I don't really feel like this girl gonna do nothing. Oh, and then I did report it to my building just in case, I guess. And everybody I told the story to, they're like, well, did you post somebody's face? Did you say that her toes were so ugly? Or like, were you making fun of her? Because that's what they was saying. I'm making fun of her. I'm unprofessional. I'm saying she's stupid. I'm like, no, I literally just said, if you also booked for a maintenance appointment, but it really should have been a new set, I'll just try and work with you and do what I can. Which is crazy because everyone I told the story, they were like so confused on why that would warrant somebody basically wanting to me, which is crazy, right? So nothing ended up coming up from that, which is crazy because I don't want to say they most likely went back to a salon, but these girls, they're so soft-spoken and like they don't speak unless spoken to type of girls that I was honestly so taken aback that not only did they, mama or whoever, threaten me over that, but that they the other sister really tried to say all of this stuff to me and really got bucked. But of course, I don't know if she would do that in person, but maybe over the phone, she was really like buck wild with it. So it was just really crazy. That whole like 2 days was honestly really, really crazy because I had a lot of people that was really worried about me. I had to tell clients like, hey, I actually, like my clients for the next day, I was like, hey, I had a client yesterday whose family member threatened to basically me. So if you're not comfortable coming to your appointment today, I understand, we can reschedule. If you are comfortable, I was like, I don't really think she's gonna come up here, but if that makes you uncomfortable, feel free to reschedule. I think one person did reschedule and the other 2 or 3 people kept their appointments. And of course I told them what happened. I didn't tell every client what happened, but the people for the next day, I did kind of put in perspective, hey, this is what happened, just so they're aware, because God forbid, if the lady would have come up there to kind of set it off, I would at least want them to be aware. So in situations where you do get threatened and stuff, don't like get beside yourself. Don't get too upset. Just don't make a big deal out of it. I did not go to Instagram and tell the whole story. This happened like, I don't know, around summertime or something. But don't make a big deal. Don't get beside yourself. Things that happen like this, keep it on the low until you know what's going on, and you can do something about it later. As far as you want to tell the story, like, it's funny now, laugh about it. But in the moment, things like that really do piss me off because it's like I don't be doing nothing to nobody. And everything on my page is very educational. And there's a lot of people, it's like, you came to me because you saw me saying similar stuff. Like that's what brought you to my page, but whatever. People was like, oh, is it because you posted her feet? I'm like, no, it literally wasn't because of that. They literally was just saying that I was calling her stupid, dumb, and everything under the sea, So that was my crazy ass client story about the time somebody was trying to set it off and basically unalive me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that story. Please feel free to laugh. It's cool. It's not traumatic for me. Like, it happens all the time. But of course, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And of course, I will see you guys in the next one.
She's the greatest nail tech in the universe.